Right. So hello everyone. Have a good evening. My name is Joanna Zurek. I'm the branch manager of Thermomix in Pennsylvania. And together with Heather Vigano, our consultants from Pittsburgh, our area, we will cook. I will make a very simple recipe today, but Heather is going to tell you, teach you a little bit more about Cookidoo, give you some tips and tricks, right? How to use it effectively. So Heather, do you want to introduce yourself first before we get started?
Hello, everybody. So yes, as Joanna said, I'm a consultant here in the Pittsburgh area. I've actually been an owner for a little over 5 years, but did not become a consultant until the TM6 came out, I think 4 years ago. So yeah, I use a lot of, I don't know if I'm going to say I'm a Cookidoo expert, but I use Cookidoo a lot as well as using my Thermomix manually as well. But I've learned it's such a powerful, powerful tool, the Cookidoo platform. I find a lot of my customers and a lot of my clients really like to learn more than, just the basic following through the recipes. So I'll be going over a little of that today.
Okay. So, the recipe that we chose today is maybe not the healthiest one, right, to start the year with, but it's a very nice dessert and snack for your kids or yourself if you like chocolate and if you like custards, because I will be making the chocolate custard tonight. It is a very simple recipe, super easy to make. And it is much healthier than any store-bought custard or custard made in restaurants, because we do know what kind of ingredients we're putting in, and we can control the sugar and everything else that goes into it. So the recipe is called chocolate custard. If you find a recipe, you will see that there are different chocolate custard recipes. That's probably because they're from different countries, different collections. But if you see the same picture of the recipe, it's usually the same recipe, just translated. Some in ounces, some in imperials. So it just depends on the destination of the recipe. Okay, for this recipe, I'm using dark chocolate. Chopped as bacon chips. So if I don't have enough, so I actually do have dark chocolate, and I will put one.
Joanna, can you show your screen? You're showing Heather all the time.
Of course I can. Thank you.
There we go.
So hold on. Spotlight. Okay, thank you, Joanna. So as you all know, Thermomix has the integrated scale, right? Let me just show you here. So as I read the instructions next to it, I also see how much ingredients I put in. And then so I'm going to show you. So I have my chocolate and chocolate chip. And just in 10 seconds, I will grate chocolate. So I may not hear you well.
The grating function is one of my absolute favorite functions. Everywhere from chocolate to hard cheeses, nuts, spices. It's really, really a great feature on the Thermomix.
And in 10 seconds, that's what we have. So same way, like Heather said, I don't know if you mentioned coffee, because you can grate coffee as well.
I forgot coffee.
Yes, you can make your own flours with different grains, chickpeas, rice flour. So the power of the Thermomix is, like, the motor of the Thermomix is super powerful. Now let me add some milk. I'll be using whole milk, but you can use skim milk, you can use vanilla, chocolate milk and a nut milk. I mean chocolate milk and a nut milk, I mean, or so.
Hey, extra chocolate milk, extra chocolate custard.
Okay, a little bit more. Okay. How many of you have ever made custard in Thermomix?
Well, I know Sandy
So,
has.
sugar,
She
you know
taught me
what?
the trick.
I just realized the next step is sugar, but I just realized I have monk fruit, and I think I'm going to replace it with a healthier version. So let's make this dessert a little healthier, right? We can, right? So, and maybe we'll not add 100 grams, just a little less. Corn flour or any starch. So it could be potato starch, right? I actually have a little bit of corn. Oops. Let me zero the scale. This is something that you also always want to remember to do. Turn to reset the scale. Oops, I have just okay. And 2 eggs. I already broke eggs. And basically, that's all. What I will just do, I just need to scrape the chocolate from the sides a little bit. And now, while the chocolate custard is cooking for 12 minutes on the 90 degrees Celsius, Heather will be telling you, giving you, sharing some tips for Cookidoo. Okay, so let me add Heather to the spotlight. And so, how many of you have been using Cookidoo? With no problems.
Hands
Okay,
up. Yep.
so hands up, yes. Okay, do you have any questions regarding Cookidoo before we get started? No? Okay, so Heather, let's get started. And then while we're on the, on the call, please ask your questions, okay?
Yes. So yeah, definitely. If you have any questions as I'm going, put your hand up, stop me, put something in the chat. So first I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Joanna, can you fix so I can share my screen? Technology. Okay. So there we go. Can you guys see? Can you guys all see Cookidoo on the screen? Excellent. Okay, so all of you that have been using Cookidoo, whenever you log in, and actually when you go either into your Thermomix and swipe to the right, you see hello and your name. What do you want to cook today? So I'm actually on this online, and there's also actually an app if you have a smartphone or a tablet or something like that. So yes, you can actually use an app as well. For today, to show you, I'm just going to use the web version here. So the first thing you see when you open Cookidoo is, hello, what do you want to cook today? So before I start going into all the recipes, I just wanted to show you something about the main page of our Cookidoo, which I think a lot of people overlook sometimes. I know a lot of my clients have been like, wow, I didn't know that was there. So let me scroll down a little bit. So here, the first thing you're going to see is everything featured. So as you scroll down the page, it's going to feature, if you guys have not seen this from last year, this is called Cookidoo Serve. So basically what it does is it's going to create your collection for you of your most cooked recipes from last year. And it's your personal Serve 2023 recipe collection with all of the recipes you've cooked for the year. When we get over into the collections, I'm going to show you where that is. It also shows you some of the newest collections. It always has a recipe spotlight. And then down here, this New Year's boost, this also changes periodically throughout the year. So here's the New Year's boost. Let me click on Give Me a Boost. It's going to give you just a little blog post that gives you some great tips and tricks and some ideas of some really great recipes that'll go along with the theme. And if you use these arrows, so here's a Discover the Secrets of Fine Dining. And here you're going to get a bunch of recipes that fit in with this theme. These definitely change throughout the year, and they're always highlighting something different. So I always tell people, make sure you check this section out frequently because you get a lot of really great information. Here's some great food pairings, recipes that are sweet and salty. So we have New Year's Boost, we have the Secrets of Fine Dining, meat recipes, and of course, Power Up with Protein. So as you go down, you're going to notice there's some videos, and these are some tips and tricks and how-to recipes. So the first is a little bit about the newest accessory, which is the cutter, which unfortunately is not in stock right now, but it gives you everything you need to know on how to use the cutter. So, and some recipes, how it works, some tips and tricks. So if you're ever looking for any type of reference material, chances are you're going to find it here on the page. This one is about the modes. The modes are, you know, if you swipe to the left, all of these modes that are here on the Thermomix. This highlights every single mode that the Thermomix has and gives you tips and tricks on how to use them. So if you forget, oh no, how do I do that? You can go directly to the mode and it's going to tell you. So let's do fermentation, your dough. Let's click on the dough. It's going to give you a little video. It's going to give you some recipes. It's going to give you some tips and tricks. So I always tell people, if you can't quite remember how to use the mode, the reference is there on the main page. You're going to get your picks, the most cooked recipes. This is in the United States. The recommendations, you can get recommendations for you. Now, created recipes is an option. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. It's really not that hard. It's not overly involved, but we're actually going to be doing another cooking class focusing only on the created recipes. And this is where you can take recipes and change them, or you can take an old family recipe and put it into your collection and have it be done with guided cooking within the Thermomix. And we're going to cover that probably next week. Here's information about the blade cover, scaled recipes, so a lot of information. Okay, so, there we go. So here we are back to the main page. I also like to point out everyday recipes based on, you know, the things that you tend to cook a lot. They give you suggestions. The themes is our blog posts, tips for importing recipes, your pantry. Johanna was saying about the spices and making your own flours. And these, like I said, do change. So let's go here to the main page, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. So here are all the recipes. And I don't know if you knew, but here it defaults to all the recipes. Here it's sorting by relevance. You can change it and sort it by, I want to see the newest recipes. Now, here are your filters. Now I'm filtering by English recipes and TM6 recipes. That gives me 11,385. So let's take those off. We have 97,202 recipes available within our Cookidoo collection. And it lists everything. So you can also, instead of recipes, click the arrow and get collections. And this is going to bring up all of the collections that are released. And, you know, we release a couple, 1 or 2 a month across all of the countries that use Cookidoo. So you can always search for a specific collection. We're going to go back to recipes. Does anybody have any questions at all this point or need me to slow down? Okay, I'll keep going. So obviously, you know, you can search for a recipe. So say you're looking for a specific recipe. I'm sure you guys all know how to type in the recipe. I'm going to go over filters just a little bit. So if you go to the filters, you can actually filter for a bunch of different things to kind of narrow it down and not have so many recipes to choose from. So let's say we wanted to do, what do you think? A main dish, a meat dish. So you can choose what category of food you want to cook. You can also choose your ingredients. So let's say I'm in my fridge like I do every night and go, what am I gonna cook? So let's start typing in chicken, C-K. And as you can see, it brings up options. So we want to do, oh, I have chicken breast. Pick chicken breast. And you can continue to add ingredients, or you can exclude ingredients. Broccoli. We're going to exclude broccoli florets. I don't like them. Okay, now this section is the tags. The tags can be used within the filtering. So tag, think of hashtag for your social media. You could type in, let's see, gluten-free. You could type in summer recipes, gluten-free summer. Here's your difficulties, your total time. Now, here's a tip I like to give people. When you're searching for a recipe with total time, keep in mind that the recipe itself may only take like 15 to 20 minutes of cooking time, but the total time is going to be over an hour. Think of like your dough or your pizza dough. Actually make the pizza dough, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to actually make the dough. But if you're searching on how long it does the entire recipe, it's going to be over an hour because you need to let it proof for an hour. So, if you're looking for recipes that are under 45 minutes, sometimes you're going to exclude some recipes that you actually really can make in 45 minutes. You can search by your portions. These are the ratings, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in a recipe. Your version, any accessories you have. Now, I tend to default to English. So I speak English. Whenever I am sorting, I choose all my recipes to be coming in English because I not only get the US collection, I get Australia's in the United Kingdom as well. So all of these defaults and all these filters we put in, we're going to see 7 results. And these are our choices. So let's see, Joanna, which one should we show today? How about
I love the shredded chicken.
the shredded chicken with lettuce wraps? Let's do that one. Okay, so here's our recipe. We used our filters. We found exactly what we're looking for with the ingredients we have. Okay, so let me show you something here about the recipe. So of course we have how easy, your prep time, your total time, and the number of portions. Now, some recipes under serving size, you have automatically populated where you can pick your portion. This particular one, it's made for 4 portions. Next week, whenever we go over created recipes, I'm going to show you how to change that to make the portions that you want to make when you make this recipe. Say you have a household of 2 and you'd rather have 2 portions, or you're feeding a house with a bunch of people and you want to make it 8 portions. I will show you how to do that next week with created recipes. So of course it has all your ingredients here. Remember I was telling you about the tags and the filters? Under each recipe, it shows you the tags that are associated with that recipe. Obviously your useful items, some tips and tricks. And this is my favorite, because this time of year, I am dieting. My husband is dieting. The only one not dieting is Sophia, the 8-year-old. So it gives us all of our nutritional information, how much fiber, sodium, fat, carbs, everything that you need to know. So if you're tracking that. Okay, so there's the recipe in and of itself. Now let me show you guys some cool things to do with this recipe, okay? We're going to talk about our collections. So the first we can do is say, well, you can create your menu for the week, and you can also create collections. So let's go ahead and this here cook today. This is going to go ahead and put it into our onto our week. So here we go. Let's click my week right here. Here you go. Shredded lettuce and vegetable cups. It's here to cook today. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the recipe. So this add button here gives you a bunch of different options you can do with this. So these first 2, bookmarks and add to collections, are going to be found under your My Recipes. This add to week, we added it to today. Remember I showed you my week? You could also, hey, add to my week. And as I plan my schedule on Sunday, I assign recipes for each day. So let's say, wait, I really want to do it next week, the 17th. And then you save it to your calendar. Okay, and the last thing, two things you can do is add to a shopping list, which I'll go over here in a few minutes, and add to created recipes, which we will do again and show you guys how to do that next week. So I'm going to go ahead and hit bookmark. And I'm also going to add it to a collection. Okay, so here we are in collections. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my favorites. So now I think you guys are probably good saving it. So whenever you go to cook tonight, you go to my week. Here it is under my week. When you go to your Thermomix, go to the 3 lines, touch the 3 lines in the top left, and my week will come down, and you click on it, and you can start cooking your recipe directly from your Thermomix. So let's take this and do a little bit more with it. So let's go to my recipes. I talked about the collections. So first of all, here's our lettuce cups we saved today. I saved it under bookmarks. This here's the created recipes, where any recipes you create are going to show within your collections. These are all the recipes and the collections that I have created to put recipes into, but you can always create a new one. So, the nice thing about having all these recipes into collections is Cookidoo, just like Thermomix, gets better and better, and they're constantly adding great new features to it. And they do occasionally do updates to Cookidoo. Now, being here on the East Coast, those updates usually tend to happen around dinner time here. So what I always tell people is, if there's something you want to make, put it into your collections. Create a, put it in bookmarks, or create in a collection if you want to be super organized, because these recipes are all going to be available offline if Cookidoo is not active and offline. So you'll still be able to access what you want to cook for dinner and use it as a guided recipe. Okay, so how to create a collection. So let's say that's in my bookmarks. So these are all here. Here's created. These are the ones that I saved. So let's go back here to a recipe. So let's just pick one recipe to show you. We'll do the Yorkshire pudding. Okay, so let's say we want to add it to a collection. This is how you can create it. We're going to create a collection. So let's call this, I don't know, English foods. Save. Okay, now we're going to come back here to my recipes. We're going to go to create it. And here it is. I put it in English foods. Now the next thing we're going to do, does anybody have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? Any questions about creating your, I've seen a lot of people that have, done it by foods they want to try, specific types like side dishes, or just so they have easy access to everything. Okay. On to the next thing. So now we've learned how to create the recipes in your week. So you've saved them in your week so you can access them on your Thermomix. You have seen how to go ahead and create your collections. The last thing I'm going to show you in your collections is saved. I don't know if you guys know this, but let's go back here. Remember I told you, here's your recipes. You can change it to collections. Look at this, beat the heat. That's one of the newest ones. Let's go ahead and click on beat the heat. So every collection that comes out at the top, here's all your recipes in it. You have the option of saving the entire collection to try the collection. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And go back to your recipes. Under saved. Here it is, beat the heat with all 22 recipes. And you can always remove them if you don't. I like to do this a lot because I love to try the new things that are coming out with the newest collections. Or if I find a collection that I just think is fantastic, I will save it. You will find saved if you're new to Thermomix. every Thermomix comes already pre-saved with the entire basic cookbook, which is the green cookbook. So every recipe that was in the green cookbook is saved. So you get your Thermomix immediately with 176 recipes. Okay. Are we good on that? Okay. Here's the last thing I'm going to show you real quick. So we're going to go to my week. So here we go. We've saved the recipe. I'm going to show you a little bit about creating a shopping list and ordering your ingredients. This is my favorite feature. So here's our shredded lettuce cups, right? Here we are at the recipe again. Here we are to the add button. We're going to go add to the shopping list. Okay. Here we are. And then we can go up here to show shopping list. Such a cool cat. Okay, so we have added, you can sort by category and my recipes. I'm going to tell you a benefit to each of these things in sorting this way. So here's our recipe, shredded chicken and vegetable lettuce cups, okay? So here are all the ingredients that you will need. So let's say you want to order these ingredients. I tend to do this Mondays. So Sunday, I plan my menu for the week, put it all into my shopping list. Monday, I come to my shopping list and I go through everything. So these are all the ingredients for the recipes that you add, and you can add multiple recipes. Okay, I'm going to go by category. I like by category because it's the aisles of the grocery store. And what you do is you go through and check this box here if you have it. So 2 tablespoons of white sesame seeds. I do have those. Lime juice I have, obviously water I have. I do need some corn. I have chicken breast, sesame oil. So we're going to take off chicken breasts. So you go through and you check off the ingredients that you already have in your pantry. You can even add items. So say you need oranges, an orange. Say you need paper towels. Whatever you need to order at the grocery store, you can put onto your list. Okay. Great. So, and here's your recipe. So here's options. Let's look at our options. So you can print and automatically send it out to your printer. You can share it. Let me show you here. Let's go by category. We're going to go to options and hit share. You can copy this. And then you can put it into a text message or an email. One of the things I like to do is make a list and text it to my husband so he can pick stuff up when he's on his way home from work. Okay. So those are some of the options that you can do. Now, this is the coolest feature. I was so excited when they brought this out. So this is called, you can order your recipes or order your ingredients directly from Cookidoo. So here's my zip code, 15644. Search. And the stores available to you are going to be based on your zip code. If you live near a Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh will work for you. I tend to do Instacart, or you could do Walmart. Walmart does not have the delivery, but you can do pickup. So let's go to Instacart. Okay, hit continue to Instacart. It's going to open a new screen for you. Can you guys see it? Okay. Okay. We're going to choose, here's our shopping list. Give it a few seconds to populate. Okay, now we're going to say add our 14 ingredients to the cart. And then once it imports all your ingredients that you needed for, your list, you can go and choose replacements. You can add additional things if you see it. You can choose brands that you want, and then, with either Instacart or with Walmart, you just choose how you want to get your groceries, whether pickup or delivery. There you go. Okay, we close this one. You guys see my screen again? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. So that is Cookidoo 101. And like I said, hopefully you learned something new that you didn't know. Like, it's the most important thing that I find that people go, really, wow, is if you create your collections, you can still access those recipes if, for whatever reason, it is offline. Say your internet's down, you'll still be able to test the recipes. So Anybody have questions? Diane?
Hi, you said you're in an app. You said there's an app, but you were on your computer.
Yes. So there is an app. You can find it in the App Store. Do you have an iPhone or Android?
I have an iPhone and I ran into trouble because I was trying to update my Cookidoo account because I'm a consultant and I had a code and I
Okay.
had a lot of trouble. You know, they said I had to be on a computer.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Joanna? Yes.
Yes. Well, Diane, you don't have to be on the computer, but in order um to use your voucher that you got, you have to use the browser. So you
okay.
can do it from your computer, from your phone, but you have to use the browser. Go to cookidoo.thermomix.com. I'm going to share this with you if you want also
Okay, so
later. Mhm.
so Joanna, I did that and it just says that I have to go in through the Apple Store, that they're managing my account.
Hmm.
No, because it's just a matter of seeing the voucher box, and you will not be able to see it through the app. You have to log into the website from the browser, either computer or your phone. So that's the
Okay.
only difference. There
Okay.
is like when you open your account, when you go to your profile on the app, there is no room. There is no space for putting the vouchers.
Right.
When you go to the browser, you will see in your account, in your profile, that there is a little box says vouchers, and that's where you paste the
Okay.
voucher that you got.
So
Because
that's where they're telling me that the App Store is managing my account and I can't do it. That's the message I'm getting.
Hmm.
So I'll call the company. I've called them a couple times, so I'll call them again and see what they say.
no. You know what? If you want, we can. I can call you. You can call me, or I can call you later tonight
Okay.
or tomorrow, and I can help you with that. Okay?
Okay. All right. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. No
Speaking of
problem.
browsers, I remember one more trick I wanted to tell you guys. So speaking of browsers, so if anybody uses Google Chrome, do you guys use Google Chrome? I'm not sure it works in the other browsers, but I know it works on Google Chrome. If you go to Google Chrome and type in, cookidoo.us, Thermomix, go directly to the Cookidoo website. If you open a recipe that's in another language, it will automatically translate it for you on your screen, which is really cool. My husband's from Italy. I got about 75% of Italian reading recipes, but there's that 25% that I just don't know. So usually what I do is I take my iPad, but instead of using the app, open Chrome, go to the recipe, and then it's translated next to me, sitting next to the Thermomix. And as I'm following the instructions on the Thermomix in Italian, if I get stuck, I can, refer to the other one. And it's really opened up a lot of new recipes and new cuisines for me. It's kind of cool.
Yes, that's awesome. That is really useful. What about cooking app? I have a question. Are all of you using? Do you all use the Cookidoo app? Yes.
Yes.
Lynn, you just joined us recently. You're a new Thermomix owner, right? Lynn? Uh, do you have any questions regarding Cookidoo or Thermomix? Well, so you have to unmute first because you're muted and we cannot hear you. If you can click on the microphone.
Maybe that's it.
Oh, there
Yes,
you go.
I'm very new to it and loving it. It's I didn't think it would be for me because I've been so accustomed to cooking for so many years, in a different fashion. But I'm very, very pleased with it so far. It's different, certainly, but like I said, it's going to just take a little bit of time.
That's okay. But are you working with a consultant right now?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay.
Lori Walters.
Oh, Laurie Walters. Okay. Okay. Great.
She has really been in my ear for several months, about it. And I was like, I have all these other things, like Vitamix and, my KitchenAid, et cetera, et cetera. I've had all the individual things. So this is quite exciting to see it all put together in one machine.
Yeah. And I always remind people, I mean, as a consultant, I mean, obviously you guys have your Thermomixes, but the majority of my job is to provide support for you. So if you ever have any questions, I mean, this is true for me. If you ever have any questions or you get stuck when you're in the middle of cooking, send me a message. I'll walk you through everything.
Okay, that'd be great because I have a couple.
Always. I mean, contact your consultant, we're here to help you. That's what we do. So
Well, that's wonderful because I have a lot of recipes